ahead and get started. I'm hopefully only going to talk for about 25 to 30 minutes so that we have lots of time at the end for questions. So if you have questions about how to use certain things on the library website or questions about your card, please be sure to put those in the Q&A throughout the presentation so that I can answer those. So tonight is just going to be a brief overview of your Santa Clara City Library card, what you can do with your card. I'm also going to be doing some live demos on our website to show you how to find things, how to use our catalog. If you want to use the chat, feel free. I might not be able to monitor it while I'm presenting, but I'll try to check it periodically. And also some of your other participants might answer for you. So I'm hoping that this will be useful, whether you just got a card yesterday or whether you've had a card for a few years. I'm hoping to share things that you might not know about. So that actually brings me to my first poll. I'm just curious how long you've had a Santa Clara City Library card. If you could just take a minute to answer that poll that should have popped up on your screen. It's really interesting because when I started this program, I thought I would be helping a lot of new library card users. But it seems like the biggest group is always people who've had a card for more than 10 years. So I'm glad that you're here wanting to learn more. And definitely please ask your questions so this can be useful. And yep, we have a very nice bell curve right now. So it's like between 1 month and 1 year, and more than 10 years is the biggest, and then everybody else is somewhere in between. So thank you for answering my poll. Okay, so here we go. Library orientation. So this is kind of what we're going to do tonight. I don't think my slide changed, did it? Let me fix that. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So, overview. This is what we're going to be doing today. So like I said, I'm going to do a little intro, show you how to use the library website and the catalog. Some of the things we're going to cover that people always have questions about are our e-resources or online resources or databases, electronic resources, whatever you want to call them. Also library events, how to find events. Obviously, we're going to talk about how libraries are really cool and we're free. So I will cover the very few things at the library that do cost money, but most of the time when you're like, how much does this cost? The answer is it's free. All right, so welcome to Santa Clara City Library. We have 3 library locations and we have a bookmobile. Also, our tech center wanted me to specify that we do have a computer lab here at Central Park Library. So we actually have a dedicated room with computers and we have a tech center staff who's there to help you if you have tech questions. Our Mission Branch Library and our Northside Branch Library can also help with technology. Library staff is trained to do that. But if you have like a more complicated question, you might want to call Central Park and see if the tech center can help you with it. But the branches can do basic technology help as well. Central is open 7 days a week. We're open on Sundays as well. The Mission and Northside are open Monday through Saturdays. They are closed on Sundays. We also have a bookmobile that drives around the city and attends events and visits housing complexes and schools and other areas of interest. Sometimes if you're looking for a really popular title, you might only be able to find it on the bookmobile, so you'll want to chase it around town. And I can show you later where to find their calendar. One thing that I want to specify, and I don't want to get too much into this because I don't want to add confusion, but we are the Santa Clara City Library. We also have a Santa Clara County Library in this area, but we're not the same. So a lot of times if you're trying to log into something and your library card is not working or it's not accepting your PIN, check and make sure that you're using your city card on the city website and your county card on the county website. You can have both, but you just can't interchange. So I kind of say it's like Target and Walmart. Like they sell the same things, but you can't use a Target gift card at Walmart. So you could definitely have a library card with the city and the county, but if you try to log into our stuff with your county card, it's not going to work. So your city library card should start with 25119, and that's the library I'm talking about tonight. You can borrow 99 physical items at a time from Santa Clara City Library. There might be limits like only 3 video games at one time, only 10 DVDs at one time, but 99 items at a time. And so you could borrow 99 books if you wanted. Okay. Did you know you can return items at any city library location? So if you borrow from the bookmobile, you can return at Central Park. If you borrow from Central Park, you can return at Mission. Um, this does not count for county libraries. So like if you borrow from Saratoga, don't return to us. We will mail it to them. Like, we'll try to get it back to them, but it won't be checked in or anything. And so it could get lost on the way and you'll be responsible. So city items can be returned to city libraries. We also check out a lot of things that aren't traditional library materials. So, we have books, magazines, DVDs, audiobooks, music CDs, but we also have video games. We have coding kits, like we have laptops you can check out that have coding software loaded onto that to learn coding. We have parks passes to state parks and county parks in Santa Clara. We have tools that you can use, like energy saving tools. So if you're doing a home project, instead of going out and buying a tool, you can just borrow ours. We have bear canisters, hiking poles. We also have access to a lot of great online resources, including the New York Times for free. And a really exciting thing is we don't have any late fees. So if you return an item, you will not owe anything. However, if you don't return an item, you do get charged. So we do charge replacement fees if you do not return an item. So please bring stuff back. And honestly, we don't want you to pay for the items. We just want our stuff back. So if you see that you've been billed for an item, please just bring it back and then it gets wiped from your account. Remember that we do have automatic renewals. So if you check something out, you get to have it for 3 weeks. If nobody's waiting for it and it's not like a special item, then you'll actually automatically renew for another 3 weeks. That happens 4 times. So you can keep stuff for like 5 months. So if it's not renewing, that means that somebody else is waiting for the item, or it means you've had it for a long time and we'd like it back so other people get a chance to borrow it. So, if your items are overdue, please do bring them back because if nobody's waiting for them, they'll automatically renew for you. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is for our phone tree. When you call the library, I have our main number there at the top. And then I know nobody likes listening to phone trees. So quick cheat sheet here. If you want to talk to circulation, that's like our customer service. So if you have questions about your library card, your PIN, your due dates, you want to renew an item, you want to put an item on hold, you can do that with circulation. That's press 2. If you want to speak to adult services or reference, that's my department, you press 3. So you can ask us for reference questions, or if you have questions about any of our adult programs here at Central Park Library. And then if you want to talk to youth, teen, and family services, that'd be press 4. So like questions about children's books or children's programs. You can also call our branches directly. That's Mission and Northside, and their phone numbers are on there as well. Just a couple tips that might be helpful. So when we actually rarely require a physical library card, you usually just need your number. So if you want to come use a public computer, you can just type in your library card number. If you want to check books out, you can actually go to our self-checkout machine and just type in your library card number. So what I do is I just have my number in like the Notes app on my phone so I can find it. Some people like to take a picture of their library card and store it on their phone. But basically, if you just have the number, that works great. Same if you're like picking up a hold for a family member or something. If you just have their library card number, then you could pick up their hold, type it into the self-checkout machine, and check out there. So just keep your library card number handy. Then even if you don't have your actual card, you can still use our resources. Oh, and that was really fast. So I guess I'm already going over to the library website to show you how to do some stuff. I'm going to check the Q&A and the chat before we go, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Again, if you have questions, please do put them in. Okay, nothing in the Q&A chat. Can checked items be returned at a different Santa Clara library than where you checked out the items? Yes, they can. Can the checkout machine scan a picture of the library card on your phone? I have seen people do that. Like if you have the actual barcode on the phone, I've seen people do that, but you could also just type it in. So either way works. Somebody asked, can they use their driver's license to check out a book? Yes. So if you don't have your card number, then you can just go to the desk, show a photo ID, and we can check it out for you. But if you have your number, then you don't even have to wait in line. You can just do it yourself. Another question, which branch is the tool library located? That's at Central Park. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to our website here, and I'm just going to do like a little demo showing you how to find stuff. So a couple things that are popular here. Let's see. So people always want to know how to use our study rooms. So we do have a couple rooms at each of our locations. They're free to use. Most of them fit up to 4 people. The branches do have a couple rooms that are a little bit bigger. You can use them for 1 hour a day. So you would just go to services, book a room here, and then you would pick. So just please make sure you do review this. Like if you book for longer than an hour, it's going to get changed. If like I'm meeting with 3 other people and we each book the room for an hour, 3 of those are going to be deleted. So just pay attention to these, please. It's 1 hour per day, and make sure you show up within 15 minutes, or we do cancel it to allow other people to use the room because these can be pretty in demand. But say you just go here, book Central Park Library study room. We use this external service to book our study rooms. So you can do it up to a week in advance. So see if I try to do more than a week, it says it's not currently available. But if I just do 1 week in advance, then I can book here. Red means it's already taken. So yeah, that's pretty simple. And then whenever you come into the library, we hold on to your photo ID or your library card while you're using the room. Another thing that a lot of people want to know how to use is our e-resources or electronic resources, whichever you want to call it. So if you go to Books and More and Research Tools, there's 2 ways you can look for stuff. So if you know the resource you're looking for, like you're like, I want to read the New York Times. Well, we have the New York Times right here. It's easy. But you say, I want to read the New York Times. You can go to A to Z e-resources if you know what you're looking for, and then go to N for New York Times. There it is, New York Times. You could click that. We also have little video tutorials available for a lot of our stuff, not all of them, but you could come here and watch like a 5-minute or less video on how to use these things. Okay. If you don't know what you're looking for, you're just like, I want to learn another language. I heard I can do that at the library. You can go to Books and More, and then you'd go to Research by Subject because you're not sure of the name that you want. And then we have these different subjects here, so you can see which one interests you. So in this case, like, oh, language learning, that's what I want to do. And then we can see here, oh, cool, Mango Languages. I can learn to speak a language. This resource is one of my favorites. It's also really cool because it offers ESL. So like if you know somebody who's learning English as a second language, they can actually go to this and they can set their native language to learn English, which is sometimes a lot better than learning English in English. But then also like as an English speaker who's trying to learn something else, there's a bunch of languages on here and it's very like classroom style lessons you go through. And it's pretty, it gets pretty advanced. So this is a great resource. I also said I would show you how to find library events. So that's pretty easy, calendar. So if you go to calendar here, you can just click events and it'll show you all the events we're having, or you can narrow it down by age, or you can narrow it down by location. So like you only want to know what's going on at Mission, you can click Mission Events and it'll show you here. Always click on it for more information to see like, is registration required? You know, is there anything you need to know? Like this one has a lot of awesome other resources here. If it's a Zoom program, the link will be there. If there's an age, it'll tell you the age. So, you know, just click on any event for more information. Also, if you want to sign up for our newsletter or to get emails from the library when we're having new events, you can do that here. Subscribe to City News and Events library notifications. Then it'll actually take you to the city website where you'll put in your email address and submit, and then it'll ask you like, what do you want to sign up for? So you can just pick library. Maybe you want to do library and Parks and Rec. There's lots of options. All right, so that is the library website. The next thing I wanted to show you is the catalog. So we're going to go to search the catalog right here. That's one way to get to it. You can also, if you use the library a lot, you can just bookmark this. sclibrary.bibliocommons.com is our catalog. But you could see that I just said search the catalog. It took me to the home page. Or if you're already on our website, over here, you can just type in what you're looking for, like, I don't know, Harry Potter. And it'll also take you to the catalog. So there's multiple ways to get there. But I want to do it from the catalog homepage. So this is what our catalog looks like. We have staff list up at the top, so you can always look here for fun, like thematic things. It's also like there's a lot of social opportunities with this catalog, so you can see like what other people have reviewed. or rated, and you can look at what, like a lot of these are staff lists, but actually anybody who has a catalog account can make a list. So you might find stuff down here that you're interested in. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here. You can say new titles. This is neat. Some people just want to know what's new at the library. Like maybe you read a lot, so you just want to know what stuff you might have missed. You can go to books and more, new titles. And then there's two options. The just arrived are titles that are new at the library, or you can look for on order. And actually, I'm curious to see how fast this is because, yep. So I order the adult fiction for the library, and so I see a bunch of upcoming books here that I just ordered today. So it happens pretty fast. But so like say you go to just arrived and then you say, oh, I just want to look at books. I don't read ebooks. I just want to look at books for adults in English. Apply. And then it's just going to show you a bunch of all these new books that just arrived at the library, which is great. So then say you want this one. And then you can place a hold. If you want to pick it up somewhere, you can click availability by location here and it'll show you. So like, oh, both of the central copies are checked out, but the Mission branch has one available. So you could just go to Mission and check it out. And actually, this might be a good one to show you. Yes. So this is actually a good one. See right here how it says available but not holdable. So this really confuses people. So I'm going to do it this way. If you're looking for this book, you're like, I love Stacey Abrams. I want this new book. So you type in Coded Justice. And then you see this in the catalog and it says available but not holdable. Then people think they can't place the hold. That's actually not what it means. It's confusing. You can place the hold. If you just click place hold and then you log in with your library account, it is going to let you place the hold. You pick where you want and you click place hold. Or honestly, if you always know you're going to pick up at Central Park, you can check this and in the future it won't ask you. It'll just automatically do that. But I'm going to say place hold here. And now I'm the first in line. The reason it says available but not holdable is if you look at the location availability, we have special collections at our library and they're either called browsing or lucky day. We need to get them all the same. But right now, they're either called lucky day or browsing. And these are special displays in the library where you have to walk in and see if it's your lucky day. So these are like popular titles that might have long waiting lists. So these books, you cannot put them on hold. You cannot call ahead and have us hold them. They're just walk-ins only. You have to be in the library. You can check out these displays, see what's new and hot, and then just walk away with it without waiting. So especially if you like to read new and popular stuff, it's great. So that's why it says available but not holdable, because the available copy is not holdable, but you could still place a hold and just wait for this regular copy to come back. So now in my account, you'll see up here your little username. So once you're in your account, you can see everything you have checked out, which shouldn't be anything on this. Yeah, this is just our staff card. Shouldn't be anything on here. You can see what's on hold. And I just put this book on hold. Now say I'm going on vacation. Okay, so I'm like, well, I'm going to be gone for a whole month. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm going to be gone for a whole month. So I don't want this book to come in while I'm gone because I'm not going to get it in time. And I want other people to be able to read it while I'm gone. So you can just say pause hold. The really nice thing about pausing the hold, oh, and I'm actually number 3 in line. I said I was number 1. I lied. So I'm number 3 in line on 3 copies. And I just paused my hold so I'm not going to lose my spot. So right now I'm 3rd in line, right? Say the first person in line gets their book and checks it out. So now I'm 2nd in line. And then the next person in line gets their book and checks it out. Now I'm 1st in line. And other people have put this book on hold. So say I'm 1st in line and my hold's still paused. If a book becomes available, the next person will get it, but I won't lose my spot. So the only people who are going to pass me is when the book is ready. When I come back and I unpause my hold, I'm now 1st in line. So it's really nice. You just keep moving up in line, and if you get to 1, you just stay there. So it's a great tool, and we only hold, like if you have a hold, we only keep it on the shelf for a week before we cancel your hold to let the next person get it. So pausing your hold is a really nice thing to do both for you and the other people waiting for the book. And you can actually, if you read ebooks, you can also do that on Libby. It's just called suspend hold, and it'll let other people read it while you're not ready. So that's a great way to share the collection. And then I'm going to say here, since I was only showing you this as an example, I don't actually want this hold, so I'm going to cancel it now. So you can always just come in here. Maybe you're not interested anymore. You bought the book somewhere else. You got it from another library. Just cancel your hold. Maybe you're just not ready right now. BiblioCommons has these like shelves you can do. This is completely optional, but you could always save it on like your for later shelf so that you don't forget about it. But it's not necessary. So cancel hold. And then I know I just showed you a lot, so let me check the chat and the Q&A to see if there's any questions about what we've covered so far. Explain process to reserve a book from the website. Okay, so that's what I just did. I think that question was probably asked before. So the person who asked me to explain how to reserve a book from the website, let me know if that answered your question or if you still have more questions. Somebody else said, you heard about a new title mentioned in the media. Can you request this title to be available at the library? Absolutely. So to do that, you want to go, so you can do this from our website or from our catalog. So from our website, right? This is our website. You can go to About Us, and then you can go to Suggestions for Purchase. So this is a little form you can fill out to ask us to buy something. I will say if the book is like not coming out for months, that might be why we haven't ordered it yet, but you can definitely still let us know about it. We're not necessarily going to put you on the waiting list for the book just because we want it to be fair. But if it's a book that's already out, then yes, we will put you on the waiting list if we buy it. So you can do this here for any type of material, not just books. And if you're in our catalog, you can do it. Oh, sorry, I have so many windows open, it's hard to navigate. Okay, and if you're in our catalog, you can do a books and more suggestion for purchase. It'll take you to the same form. So yes, definitely let us know what we're missing. These are very helpful for us. Okay, oh good, and the person who asked about the holds, their question was answered. So let's move on. And again, I love questions. I really want this to be helpful for you. So otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking based on my list. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you is how to enable your borrowing history. So I know in today's age, we expect everything we do, especially online, to be tracked. So sometimes people want a list of like everything they've checked out from the library because they can't remember what they read or, various reasons. We actually don't keep that information because we really value your privacy. And so we do not keep records of everything you've checked out. We do keep records of what you have checked out now, obviously, because we want to make sure we get it back. And we keep records of like your recently checked out stuff so that, like say you return a DVD case and it's missing a disc, then we know who to call to have you check your DVD player. But it's not like I can say, here's a list of everything you checked out last year. We don't keep that. You can keep that yourself in the catalog, but you have to opt in. So again, whereas most things are an opt out, we value your privacy, you have to opt in. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you go here to your account, and then you go to My Settings all the way at the bottom. And then over here on the left, Borrowing History, underneath your account preferences, there's Borrowing History. It says your public library does not keep records of your borrowing without your direction to do so. It's visible only to you and it's not retroactive. So like this isn't on right now. If I turn it on, it's not going to suddenly populate with everything I've checked out because it doesn't know. It's just going to start from today. So I'm going to turn this little thing on. There's a little check mark now, and this should update to enabled. Let me hit save changes. Yes. So your borrowing history is enabled. So now when I check stuff out, there's going to be a big list here. And maybe later I decide I actually don't really want that. I'm going to turn it off. It's telling me it's going to erase it. So if I turn it off and I had a borrowing history there, it's now going to delete it all. And if you turn it back on, it won't be there anymore. So just know that once you like flip the switch is flipped. And again, we still can't see this. So if you call me and say, Megan, I checked out a book last year. I want to know what it was. I can't see this. This is still private only to you. But it can be people do find it very helpful. Okay. I also wanted to show you Link Plus. I don't know who's familiar with Link Plus, but this is a great resource. We try to have a lot of stuff. We don't have everything. As I showed you earlier, you can request things we don't have, but based on budget and library space, we're still not going to have everything. We have this great service where we can borrow from other libraries. So this is if we don't have something at all, or if everything we have is checked out and you don't want to wait for it to come back. Let's see if this one works. This is the library book club book for next month, and I know it's super popular. So let me try this one. Yeah, so Thursday Murder Club. All of our copies are checked out. See, all copies in use. So I'm going to show you how to look for it at other libraries, and you can do the same thing if there's a book we don't have at all. So now I'm going to go to search other resources up here, and I'm going to click search in Link Plus. The other way you can do it, if you're already in the book, so see here, I'm looking at the book's record, all copies in use, right here, find this title on Link Plus. So I click on that. And oh, this is a weird one because the Thursday Murder Club, it's showing me like Thursday Murder Club is in the title of every book in the series. Let me go down until I actually find Thursday Murder Club. Here we go. 13 libraries have this title. I'm going to click on it. Now, the trick is you can only request through Link Plus if it's not available at our library. So either we don't have it or they're all checked out. And you can only request if it's available at another library. So actually, see how like none of these are available? This one is available, so you can request it. But if you were looking at a book, like a really popular new book, and every single thing was unavailable, on hold, due, you won't be able to request it. So it has to be not available at our library, has to be available at another library. You would just click request it, and then you would fill out your name, your barcode, and where you want to pick it up. This is a free service. It still checks out for 3 weeks, just like one of our books. The only differences are when you come to the library to pick up your book, you have to pick it up at the service desk. We do keep these behind the desk, not out on the public hold shelf. And the reason we do that is because these aren't our books. So we don't charge late fees, but the library you're borrowing from might. It's $1 a day. So please don't return these books late. And then also, if you lose the book, it could be like $115 because it's not our book. It depends what the other library wants to charge you. So these are great books. They work just like ours, but just don't lose them and don't be late, please. And these can only be renewed one time if nobody at the home library is waiting for it. Okay, and you would have to manually renew that. That does not automatically renew. Let me go back to my chat to see. Is there a feature that shows how much money was saved from checking out items at the library? There is not, but I've seen that other libraries have it. I think it's really neat. Maybe it's something that we could look into. I know I tracked mine own one year on a spreadsheet and it was a lot of money. So, but that is great. Some libraries have that on their self-checkout machine. It shows you how much you saved. Is there a written version of what I'm demoing? So there's not really, I mean, kind of in that everything I'm demoing is on the website. So like if you go to Books and More here and you go to About Link Plus, it does describe, see like if a book's unavailable, blah, 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 picked up from the service desk, talks about the $115, talks about the one renewal. So I mean, this stuff is kind of written on the website, but the demo is not necessarily written down. However, I do have these library orientations recorded and shared on the library's YouTube page. So if you go to the library's YouTube page, you can look at past library orientations to see the recorded demo. Okay. Somebody asked if there are any journals accessible online. Yes. So we are not an academic library, so we don't have like as many journals as probably like a university library would, but we do have them. So if you went to services here or Books and More here, and then you went to research tools, research by subject, you could come here to research articles and more. And we do have these journals here, you can see. Also, if you go to the bottom, you can search our EBSCO databases for articles. And so you could just use this little widget here. Or you could go to research articles and more, and you could see like specific databases and journals here. So like Master File Premier is like general interest magazines. We have a couple other like medical things. And then this one, some of these are only available in the library because you have to be on our Wi-Fi to use it. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to check my list here, see what else I wanted to show you on the catalog. I think that's pretty good. Oh, ebooks. A lot of people will ask about, oh, well, how do, like, I keep seeing these ebooks. How do I get them? So I'm looking for an ebook like, here. This is a very cute book, by the way, if you haven't read it. All right, so before the coffee gets cold, ebooks here, right? All copies in use. So you could place a hold on ebooks here, but really what you want to do, if you see something you're interested in, like this ebook's available, you can check it out. Just follow the links, basically. So when you're in our catalog, just follow the links to the ebooks and it'll show you what to do. So like this one is available through Libby ebook. You can read it on your Kindle. So you could place hold here. It'll take you to Libby. I actually recommend, if you like ebooks, just going straight to either Hoopla or Libby, whichever one you like, and searching on there, because the catalog is not always exactly accurate. Like it has to sync up. And the other thing I don't like about the ebooks in the catalog is, see how this says like 74 holds on 8 copies? We actually are in a consortium that shares ebooks. And so like we have certain copies of the ebook that are purchased by the group and then certain that are purchased only by Santa Clara. And so we might have 8 books in the group and 74 people in the group have it on hold, but maybe we have like a Santa Clara copy that only Santa Clara people can borrow, and maybe only 3 Santa Clara people are waiting. So this makes it look really long and scary. I recommend going straight to Hoopla or Libby, whichever one you like, and just searching on there. And Hoopla doesn't have waiting lists. We just pay each time you check something out. So there's no waiting list on Hoopla, but there's different titles available on both. Okay, and I'm still looking at the chat. So somebody's asking, oh, it's so funny. 2 people asked a very similar question about the save for later. Is it the best way to track your TBR, and is it only for personal reference? Correct. So here we are before the copy gets cold. So right here, say this book, like it's all checked out and I don't really want to put it on hold right now. I just want to remember it later. If you just click this for later, all it does is put it on a list. So right here, I can say privacy settings. And so right now this is public. I can mark it as private. Okay, done. So now if I come up here to my, right here, so I go to my username and then I say for later here. Actually don't know what's on here. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, so it looks like we have some, like, we were probably working on a genealogy program, we saved some stuff. So this is just for personal reference. It's not placing a hold on it. It's not doing anything. It's just for me to see what stuff I marked later. And so, yeah, if you want to keep a record of your TBR at the library, I would recommend doing this. And then you could probably just make it private if you don't want other people to see it. But totally up to you. And then you could do the same, like if you wanted to mark books that you've read, you can put them on completed here, or you can just look in your borrowing history. You can go to About My Shelves and it'll give you more information as well from the vendor. Okay, I think I saw another question come in. What do the different lanes mean in Libby? Oh, so that's what I was referring to with the, like the group copies and the library copies. So it might say like 68 people are waiting in 2 lanes. One lane is everybody in the consortium that's waiting for the copies. The other lane is just Santa Clara people. So like your Santa Clara people lane might be a lot shorter. Like maybe you're the 68th person to put this book on hold, but only 2 Santa Clara people are ahead of you. So you're only 3rd in that lane. So that's what it means. It's just kind of trying to tell you that like you might get it a lot faster. If it says 1 lane, then everybody's just waiting for the same copy. Somebody asked how you get to Hoopla and Libby. So you can get to it here from the catalog. You can go to ebooks. You can click on this to go to Libby. You can click on this to go to Hoopla. If you are on our website, you can do it from here, research by subject, ebooks and e-media, or honestly, the easiest way, books and more. We have Hoopla and Libby right here. So you don't have to go through any like intermediary pages. We know a lot of people use those. They're very easy to find. They're also actually on the homepage right here. This is Libby and this is Hoopla. So you could do that too. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the slides now. I have a couple more slides, and then I have been talking a lot tonight, but I've also been answering questions as we go. So I'm going to finish my slides, and then I'm just going to finish out by answering questions. So again, if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A. And let's go back to the slides. All right. So libraries are cool. These are just some things I wanted to tell you about. See, in case you didn't know them. Did you know that we have seed libraries? So we used to just have a seed library at Central. Now we actually have a seed library at Northside and at Mission 2, where you can come and get seeds. You don't need a library card or anything. You just come pick up free seeds. The only thing we ask is that if you take them home, and they're successful, that you bring some seeds back to share. So at Central Park, the seed library is on the second floor by the reference desk, and then at Northside and Mission, you can just ask their staff where it is. Lucky Day I talked about already. That's that collection where you just see if it's your lucky day. You just walk in and get popular stuff. We also have Lucky Day copies of our Parks Passes and our county parks passes because those are really popular. So say you're going to a state park or a county park and you didn't know, or you're not, you're still 80th in line for the pass. Just go in our catalog and check and see if any Lucky Day passes are available, and then you can just go straight to that location and borrow it. Again, you can't put it on hold. You can't call and have them hold it, but you can just go straight to the library and pick up an available pass. I talked about library events that are all free. Oh, Discover and Go is one I get questions about. So I'm going to go back quickly to our website, and then I'm going to go here to services. Under other services, we have a lot of things here that could be helpful. Discover and Go is one of our more popular databases. So this is a program that allows you to use your library card to get free or discounted passes to different museums and institutions in the area. Normally, like for our library card, we don't care if you live in the city of Santa Clara. You can live anywhere in North America, just show us a photo ID, you can check stuff out. But for Discover and Go, the service has some limitations on it. So if you want to use your Santa Clara City Library card for Discover and Go, you have to live in the city of Santa Clara. If you don't live in the city of Santa Clara, but you have a library card, check and see what your local library is. Like if you live in San Jose Public Library has Discover and Go. You can get a San Jose Public Library card and use their Discover and Go. If you live in Mountain View, if you live in Sunnyvale, if you live in Santa Clara County, but like a city that has a county library like Campbell or Milpitas or something, use that library. So you do need to use the library of your residence for Discover and Go. And you have to be at least 16 years old. It's like you can't use a children's card for that. But yeah, it's a very cool service. It is very popular. So like you might log on and not see anything, but people do cancel their passes. So you can always check back. These open 3 months at a time. So like right now it's July. So right now, if you go and Discover and Go, you can see passes for July, August, and September. On August 1st, it's going to be August, September, and October. So like if you go on August 1st, August and September, there's probably not going to be a lot because they've been open, right? But the October passes are opening on August 1st. So if you want to get something in October, check August 1st. And then September 1st, September, October, November will be open, but only the November passes will be new. So I hope that makes sense. Parks passes and hiking items. Like I said, we have state parks passes and Santa Clara County parks passes. We also have hiking backpacks, 2 different kinds. One's a little bit more like beginner and one's more like an actual hiking backpack. We have hiking poles, bear canisters, and actually on our website, if you go to Books and More and underneath our library of things, you go to hiking collection. It'll explain everything here, like the difference between the backpacks, the hiking poles, the bear canisters, the parks passes. And if you click in here, it'll take you straight to the catalog where you can place your hold and find more information. So like this is a great example. There are 145 people waiting for a county parks pass. So again, this is why we ask, please bring your stuff back on time. We don't charge you late fees, but it's really nice if you let your community members use these items as well. So there's 145 people waiting, but look, there's one available. So if I go to availability by location, I can see that I should drive to Mission Branch right now and check this out if I want to go to a county park this weekend. And you just have to ask at the desk for those Lucky Day passes. Okay. Tool library, we briefly talked about. I'll show you that here as well. It's also under Library of Things, our tool lending library. This is available at Central. It's in collaboration with Silicon Valley Power. And you can see all these different tools that we have. And then same thing, if you just click on it, it will take you to the catalog and you can place a hold. Okay. We also offer literacy tutoring. So if you or anybody you know is an adult who needs help with basic reading, writing, or math, we actually have free literacy tutoring through Read Santa Clara. So again, if you go to services, Read Santa Clara, you can see all these things here. You can get help with reading. Also, if you'd like to volunteer, they're always looking for tutors, ESL services. You can actually earn your high school diploma online. It's not a GED, it is a high school diploma. And we have scholarships available for that. But yeah, so lots of great services here. All right, and then I wanted to launch another poll because I'm just curious which of these things you already knew about before this webinar. So before this webinar, I want you to go ahead and share which things you already knew about. And then this helps me know what we need to share more, because as a library, I feel like we do a lot of great things and we're not very good at marketing. So like all these things I'm telling you tonight, we kind of joke like, oh, learn the secrets of the library at this event. But really, I wish they weren't secrets. I wish everybody knew what we did and what we offered so that people would use it. So go ahead and just mark down which things you knew about. Like I can see so far, nobody has said they knew about Discover and Go. So we need to do a better job marketing that. Very few people knew we were open on Sundays. We've been open on Sundays since January, so we need to do a better job doing that. Most people knew that our events were free and that we don't have late fees, so that's good. All right. I'm just going to leave that up to let more people answer because I know there's a lot of options. Okay, and I also wanted to know what's your favorite thing about the library that other people might not know about. So if you don't mind sharing it in the chat, I would love for everybody to share what their favorite thing about the library is. It can be something I talked about tonight, or it can be something different. And while you're doing that, I'm going to check for more questions. Sorry, somebody asked 6 minutes ago, somebody asked where and who to ask for, but I'm not sure what that was in reference to. So if that was you and your question was not answered, please write your question in the chat again. Let's see. Can you listen to music from the library online? Yes, we don't have a lot of options. Like some libraries have other resources that we don't, but we do have some music if you go to Hoopla. So Hoopla right now is our only service that offers online music. We do have music CDs though that you could check out. Let's see. How to get parks passes. Are park passes only given to library card holders? Yes. So you have to have a library card to check out the parks pass. Like I mentioned earlier, though, it's pretty easy to get a library card. All you need is a photo ID. You don't have to live in the city of Santa Clara, but they basically work just like a book. So you have to have a card to check them out. If you want like a family member to come in and check a card out on your account, just give them your card number and they can do that. But yeah, you do have to have a library card to check them out. What's the difference between Lucky Day and Discover and Go? So Lucky Day and Discover and Go are just two completely different things. There's no similarities except the library offers them and they're free. Lucky Day is a collection of items that you cannot put holds on. So Lucky Day is like books and parks. I think it's only books and parks passes right now. But books and parks passes that we have in the library, they still check out for 3 weeks, but they don't go to the waiting list. So they can be available for people who are just in the library browsing and want really popular stuff. So that's what Lucky Day is. And then Discover and Go is a service that I showed you on the website where you can log in and get free museum passes. So if you have other questions about that, please ask. The question about who to ask for, free seeds. Yeah, so the free seeds, just go to the seed library. If you're at Mission or Northside, just ask them where the seed library is. And then if you're at Central, it's just on the public floor, on the second floor by the reference desk. It's just out there on the floor for you to look at. Okay, and some favorite things. So favorite thing is Link Plus, thank you. Another favorite thing is genealogy, which I did not even mention. So Santa Clara City Library, we're very lucky that we have a partnership with the Santa Clara County Historical and Genealogical Society. So they do a lot of great genealogy resource for us. We have some genealogy databases. If you look at our event calendar, we have things called genealogy consultants, like here, genealogy consultant desk, where if you come at this time, we actually have a volunteer in our local history room who can work with you one-on-one on your genealogy research. If you go to services, genealogy and local history over here, you can learn a lot more about what we offer. So we're very lucky that we offer that. Favorite thing, somebody said they love streaming videos from Hoopla. Thank you for sharing. Somebody else said Art After Dark at Northside is one of their favorites. Thank you for sharing. A couple questions. Do we have the ability to convert 35mm slides? Yes. So we have this cool program called RetroTech. If you go to services here, it's listed under other services, Retro Tech Preserving Memories program. The other way you can get to it if you don't remember that is if you look at our calendar, we have a Retro Tech program on Tuesdays. So just look at a Tuesday and click on Retro Tech, and it'll give you all the information here. So this takes like VHS tapes. You can convert them to digital, old photographs. So these are the things right here that we can preserve. You can look at this guide that's linked to see, like here, we do have a slide scanner for 35mm slides. It tells you what you need to bring. All the information's here. You do have to register for an appointment. And if you go to registration, you're probably going to be like, oh, there's nothing available because it's really popular. But we only open 2 weeks in advance. So like next week, I could look at Retro Tech 1 and Retro Tech 2. Oh, there's actually one available next week. So next week at 2 p.m., you could register. And then the next week should also be open. Yeah, so see, August 5th is still pretty open. And we have 2 slots. If you go further than that, it's going to say no availability because we only open 2 weeks in advance. But yeah, Retro Tech is something we still offer. Somebody asked, do you need an app on your home iPad or computer to listen to ebooks on Hoopla and Libby? Yes, you can download the Hoopla and the Libby app on your iPad. For Libby, there actually is, you can just go to like the Overdrive website to read ebooks. But honestly, it's just a lot easier to download the app. So it's free. Just make sure you're doing the Santa Clara City Library when you're downloading it and not the county library. And somebody else for their favorite thing said they love the passes for the parks. Thank you. All right, so this is the part. Actually, I'm almost to the question part. So thanks for sharing your favorite things. Any questions? That's what we're doing now. And then if you still have questions, you can email us. This is our reference email. So somebody checks this every day and we'll get back to you. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you do, I'll be here till 7 to answer questions. If you do leave, please fill out the survey that's going to pop up on your screen. That's very helpful for us. But otherwise, if you don't have any more questions, you can take off. If you want to hang out and see if other people have questions, you can stay. But I have the Q&A and the chat open right here, and I'm just going to sit here and answer questions as they come in. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Can you tell us more about Retro Tech? Sure. What else do you want to know? I'll pull up the page here again, and then just let me know what else you want to know. Is the video recorded? Yes. So these programs, the library orientation, I do them a couple times a year, and the recordings are posted to YouTube. So this one will probably be posted tomorrow. Let's see. Oh, RetroTech, what can you do? You can do this. You can take photos, negatives, 35mm slides, VHS tapes, audio cassettes, and records. You could take those things and then digitize them. So for example, like if you have a VHS tape, you would put it in the converter and then you'd bring an SD card and it would just record the tape into a digital file. If you have slides, we have a scanner, so it'll scan your slides into digital files. So it basically takes these retro forms of media and then digitizes them for you. Interested in volunteering? Yes. So thank you for being interested in volunteering. We love volunteers. If you go to our website and you go to About Us, there's this volunteering page right here. So to volunteer for the library, you do actually have to apply through the city. Like we're a city library, so the city controls all of our hiring and our volunteers. If you're in high school or above, you can volunteer. You can volunteer for our foundation and friends. They like do our book sales and raise money for the library. Or if you want to volunteer directly for the library, you would go to the City of Santa Clara volunteer application. So you click on this link. And then you're going to look at City of Santa Clara volunteer. And this is a little bit convoluted, so I'll show you how to find what we're actually looking for. If you scroll down in this description, there's a lot of stuff in here. So like other people in the city are also looking for volunteers. So like Parks and Rec, Senior Center. So you're going to want to go down until you get to library. So like right now you can see we're looking for volunteers to help with our ESL programs. Our branches are currently full. And then Read Santa Clara is looking for tutors. We're also looking for volunteers for our Seed Share library. So you can look here and then you would apply. I would say that if you want to volunteer and you don't see something listed here that meets your needs or skills, I would still fill out the application and maybe say what you're interested in doing, because we have a lot of ideas at the library and we don't always have the capacity to do them. So if you have a good idea and you want to help at the library, just go ahead and fill out the application. And then hopefully, a manager will see that and be like, wow, that's a great skill set that we could use, and they could reach out to you. So just because you don't see it listed here, I would say if you want to volunteer at the library, go ahead and fill out the application, and then at least you're on file and somebody will reach out if we can use you. What about cassette tapes? Can they convert to digital? I believe so. Let me just go back to that retro tech page. Yes, audio cassettes. That is one of them. When do you have the book sales? So that's something that we would look on our library website or our calendar for. So sale, I just searched sale. And yeah, so I guess I should look at August already because July is almost done. So in August, we're going to have Friday the 8th, Friday the 15th, Saturday the 16th, Friday the 22nd, and Saturday the 31st. There's quite a few. Some of them are at Northside, some of them are at Central. All right. I think I'm caught up on questions. If I missed your question, please ask it again. What are the limitations with digital conversion service? Well, the limitations would be, let me know if you're thinking about a specific limitation, but otherwise the limitations would be like time, right? So like our retro tech programs are an hour on Tuesdays. So I guess the limitation would be how much you can do in an hour. Also, if you're using our VHS converter, which actually good to know, the VHS converter is always available on a walk-in basis, unless it's being used for retro tech. So if it's not a Tuesday afternoon, you could just come to the library and ask if the VHS converter is available. It's just first come, first served, and then you can convert stuff like just as you're in the library, but it is real time. So if you have a 2-hour tape, it's going to take 2 hours to convert. So that's something important to know. You'll have to, bring something to do because you'll be sitting there for 2 hours while it's converting. But yeah, that's first come, first serve. That's great. If you want help using the VHS converter, then you should sign up for a RetroTech appointment so that a staff member will be available to help you, and everything else is only available during RetroTech. But otherwise, if you're pretty comfortable with tech and you can read the instructions and convert the tape yourself, you can just come ask for it anytime we're open. Again, just not a Tuesday afternoon when it's being used for the program. Other limitations would be if you have something that's not listed in this guide. We wouldn't be able to convert it if it's not listed here. Okay, and if we go 5 minutes without any questions, I will just assume that we're done. But I will be here for a couple more minutes to answer other questions. If you do leave, please do fill out that survey. It's very, very helpful for us. Do you still have Chromebooks? We do. We do loan Chromebooks. If you type in Chromebook to our catalog, I will say that there's usually a long list. Oh, wait, this says it's available at a preferred location. Huh. Usually there's a long waiting list. All right. Well, apparently we have 2 available. So that's great. So yes, we do have Chromebooks, and you can just find them by searching Chromebook in our catalog, and you can put those on hold just like books. Somebody said they could not see the survey. You won't see the survey until you leave the Zoom. Thank you for coming. I really hope you learned something.